What's up, dudes and dudes to the arena? My name's Seth, and this is going to be a brief tutorial talking about how you can actually solo HYDRA. Yeah, I know, right? It sounds pretty crazy. Trust me, it actually works. Now, I do want to mention that while I am over 23 KPR on my gunslinger right here, for the sake of this video, I do want to confirm that you can actually do this at lower amounts of PR. You could probably get away with doing it maybe at 15k PR. Honestly speaking, the only, PR doesn't really make that much of a difference so much as the damage that you do is going to end up making the boss either take longer or shorter. And of course, I would also recommend that you're going to have a lot of jump. So you might, if you're a starting player and don't really have all the jump from your mastery and stuff like that, get yourself a jump ring so that you can dodge a lot of his abilities. And then otherwise, for the most part, you can get through HYDRA without taking a hit. It's difficult, but it's definitely possible, so long as you have all of the jump. So the way that he's going to work is as we end up hitting this skull over here, he's going to be spawned into the wall, and he's going to be static. He's just going to stand right there. While you can actually just jump inside him and damage him over and over again as a melee character, honestly speaking, melee characters see themselves getting thrown to the wayside with the Eclipse update. And I would actually recommend to move over to some type of a ranged character. You're just generally going to have a much easier time with the Shadow Towers if you're ranged rather than melee. Now, you can actually survive by just jumping in and out of him like this over and over while you're actually damaging him. However, he's going to actually be able to throw his acid at you backwards, and if it ends up tagging the wall, like let's say up there or anything, you're not going to see the acid physically dripping from the wall or anything. You're just going to see the video effects of the bubbles kind of hanging out up at the wall, and so long as you jump into that section, you're going to end up taking damage. So again, this is where we're going to recommend to actually keep yourself at a bit of a distance. So as long as you're staying up in the air, honestly speaking, you're not going to really have that much to deal with. All I would really recommend is you got to watch out for his little ads that he ends up spawning, and then just watch where the acid ends up being thrown. Now, one thing I do want to mention, as I see if I can actually get this guy weak enough, but for some reason my shots are not actually registering, which, I mean, that's just kind of how Trove is. The projectile detection is gross right now. Absolutely sucks. Again, I'm not going to end up doing that much damage if you're a lot weaker. You're just going to end up having a lot longer of a fight. Now that right there, that's his final move that he's gonna do when he's at 20% HP, and that's where I would recommend that you fight him at the back of the arena, because if he actually does that attack, he's gonna pull you through the acid, which isn't going to damage you while he pulls you through it, thank goodness, because otherwise the acid ends up killing you right away. You see right there, I ended up dying once because of my death defying, but whatever. I honestly still recommend death defying to anybody, but most of all it's because of his little ads right here. So as he pulls you in, if we're messing around over here, say we're fighting him and dealing with him all up close and personal, and then he pulls us inward, we're not really going to have anywhere to run off to while his minions end up getting all up in your face. Also, the video effects of that ability are sideways the wrong way. The devs have confirmed that they're going to fix it and kind of reset them. In a lot of ways, too, I'm also noticing that maybe we just don't take damage while he's vacuuming us at all. I want to try and double check that right here. Let's get all these minions to stand up on us. Also, there's a nice little acid pool right there, and if he would ever end up actually pulling me in, I want to see, are we going to, yeah, okay, we definitely end up taking damage, but one of my gems ended up just popping out and just wasting him, like seriously. So that's pretty much it, everybody. So long as you're a ranged character and you have enough jump, your survivability is a lot higher, especially if you are a character like, let's say, Shadowhunter, and you have the movement speed, then you won't have to hop off of your mount or anything like that. And also, last but not least, when he does pull you in like this, we didn't get to see it, but he'll usually do a stomp attack right after. So as soon as you end up being freed from his little black hole, I would recommend that you roll away from him so that you don't end up actually taking damage from his stomp, but then of course you gotta try and just be a little bit aware of yourself in the arena as to where all of his acid is and stuff like that. And so long as you're back here, he should be throwing most of his acid down at the back, and thus you're not going to deal with much of it up in the center. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope that you found this video helpful. Again, I know that I'm sitting here at 23 KPR, but I can confirm that I was able to do this with my Shadowhunter, soloing him pretty much in my stream that I ended up actually fighting HYDRA the first time. We ended up figuring out right away that's how you actually do it. Now, again, if you're a melee character, you're gonna be in for a bad time just because of the fact that the melee characters are very, very outshined by a lot of the ranged characters in this game right now. just because with the way that the Shadow Tower boss works. Now, I'm going to have another video coming out later today that's going to talk about the Dreadnought and how you can technically solo him, but it's not really as easy as the Hydra. There's a little bit of luck involved, and I guess I would say kind of a little bit of skill. For Hydra, it's most of all just trying to get, you know, try to keep your eye on your surroundings and stuff like that, and then otherwise the boss itself is just, you can just waste him no problem. However, like I said, if you're lower in damage and stuff like that, it could potentially end up taking longer, which means that you gotta be luckier with your survivability, and again, use Death Defying, because that's pretty much the secret to this entire game, right? Thanks for watching though, folks. Very much appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, favorite, and subscribe for more daily content, as well as building up loyalty points for my merch store. Links are in the description for all that. Sign orange, stay epic, everybody.